Yo, we got a video on demand today, requested by one of my followers a minute ago. Let's hope that he's still following. This is a Joey Diaz reaction, and Joey Diaz is the best. We all love Joey. He is unfiltered, in your face rawness that we all need and love. This is Joey Diaz's hilarious story about Puerto Rican Nelson, or commonly known in Puerto Rico, it's just Nelson. Let's get to it.
Diaz, they were legit to quit. But the Alis were the first people I ever met, ever.
The Muhammads?
Beside my godfather that ever spoke to me about sex.
The Muhammad, the Alis of the Muhammads?
And then I had this Puerto Rican dude on my block, Puerto Rican Nelson. He lived in the back. He was a bartender in the city. He used to always ask me, and he wasn't a freak or nothing. I always thought that at one point he would molest me.
What? I was gonna say something, but that just jarred me. I'm jarred. I'm now jarred.
Yeah.
And even till today, I think deep sometimes. Did fucking Puerto Rican Nelson ever molest me? Because he used to always have a robe on and slippers and shit.
That's how he walked around.
Oh my God, Puerto Rican Nelson.
I love that you're not sure if he did.
I mean, that's like it's at least 40% of the wardrobe, or I should say, criteria. It is the wardrobe.
You feel like it's maybe.
Yeah, like I think, did he ever dope me? Like he ever pull a Cosby on me? Because everything about him fits like an MO. He was just a good dude.
Yeah.
That we used to go outside and help us fix our bike. And he was a Spanish dude. And he was just, he had the sideburns and the leather jacket. And it was the fucking.
Wait a minute, Joey. You can't do this and say he had the sideburns. Goatee.
In the early 70s, and I moved to Jersey, and he would talk to a bunch of us, and one day he would take us in the back. His claim to fame with me was that I became friends with him. And I go over there, and he had a black friend that had went over to the Rock of Gibraltar, and he brought pictures back, and then he would just talk to me. And then one day, he asked me
I love laughing.
You ever go to somebody's house?
Yo, it's for most people, when you hear someone laughing, it's really hard not to get caught up in the laughter. But for me, dude, for the most part, I don't care what you're laughing at, and I don't want to know. When I hear people laughing like that, oh man, it makes my soul happy.
And you go to their house a lot, and they're sober, but one day you catch them and they're fucking hammered.
Yeah.
And we go over there, and it's like early in the morning. Like I used to go over there every morning at 10 and wake him up and what's up, man? What are we going to do today? Give me an hour. I'll go out there and play stickball with you. And he come out with coffee, and he reeked of alcohol.
Yeah.
He was one of those dudes
Fucking
in the summer.
degenerate.
No air conditioning. Just a dynamite dude.
Yeah.
And one
Fucking
day,
degenerate.
I knock on the door, and he answers with a towel around him, and he sits down like he's all fucked up. Like, well, Nelson, you gonna play football? He's like, man, not today, and all this shit. He goes, come back in like 2 hours. So, we were, in those days, you're punctual.
Yeah.
Like, we were there in 2 hours. He answered the door. You guys again? The fucking curtains were still up.
You guys
He invites
again?
us in. He's got a towel on. He turns a light on, and there's like a table filled with alcohol, and like
Oh, yeah?
How old were you at this point?
12. 12, and I can't remember
Oh my God.
who the fuck I walked in.
Oh
there
my
with.
God.
Like, it was like 6 of us in the neighborhood that liked no.
Although when I was 12, no, I might have been 10. How old are you in first grade? You're 5, kindergarten. Oh, okay, so I was a lot younger than I thought I was. I was 7 because I started school late. Long story short, ask me about it sometime. Me and my best friend, 7 years old, told each other's households. We were at each other's households, and we went to McDonald's play place. 10 hours.
Nelson, but two of us actually interacted a little closer with Nelson.
Yeah.
I was Spanish, so I understood Nelson's world. I knew
I think Mr. Mandela sold my drugs.
Puerto Rican people, but I can't believe who else was the other guy that mingled with Nelson. So we had woken Nelson up. He goes, come in. We sit on his couch. You guys want a soda? He gives us a soda. He puts the TV on. You can see he's still fucked up from the night before. He's got the towel
you
on.
just
And he's
fucking
like,
woke him up.
so you guys get late? And we don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Like, nobody ever spoke to me like that. I had uncles that would.
Because you're 12. You don't speak to 12-year-olds in this manner.
Ask me, anybody suck your dick yet?
Yeah.
Are you pissing sweet yet? That type of shit. But this...
This
Oh,
is
yeah, yeah.
sweet.
When you're Spanish, te preguntan.
Yo, isn't that diabetes? Are you pissing sweet yet? What the fuck? I've never heard that. In all of my days, I have never heard this phrase in my entire life.
Oye, tú me aluces. You know what I'm saying?
Great.
Yeah, it's a great line. But Nelson was basically the first
Pissing
person
sweet.
ever. Like, I known about sex, but Nelson was the first person ever that said it could be yours. You know, I'm like, what do you mean you never had sex? I got a girl right now. She'll come over.
It could be yours? Oh. Remember earlier when you were talking about you don't know if he fucking did the thing to you?
Over and clean your pipe. We're like, and we're both like fucking shitting our pants. Yeah, you come up with like $10 or something. We're like, nah. So that was it. He never talked about it again. And then one day we're sitting there like a month.
Just love this guy.
Like
A guy in a fucking towel has
Fucking Fitzy is going insane. He can't handle it.
neighborhood boys over and offers to get them all over.
If you guys don't know who this guy is, it's Greg Fitzsimmons. Hilarious stand-up. Really funny comedic actor as well. Highly suggest you check him out. I believe he's got a new stand-up out right now. Could be wrong.
And he's drunk.
Because he's outraged that they haven't had sex at 14 or 12.
So he was cool as fuck. He used to play basketball with us and shit. So one day I go over there with this kid.
He was cool as fuck. We had a group of 5 people to hang out, and we needed a 6th person to make sports teams even.
Starts telling us,
What's his name again?
Puerto Rican Nelson. We go.
Is it be capitalized?
No, Puerto Rican Nelson was cool as fuck because he used to bring us weed from the city, and he would actually give us 7 joints for $5.
Wow.
He really took care of us. It wasn't like he was
Yeah.
a bad guy, which to me meant the world. Because a
I
lot of people
mean,
could bring you weed over
subjective.
in those days, but they say, I take a joint off the top. He was like, I got to go over it anyway. Don't worry about it. The guy gives me a better deal. So I always liked him.
Take a
because of
joint
that.
off the top.
So one day we're there, and a girl's there. A girl comes out of his bedroom. Me and my buddy are like, wow, look at Puerto Rican Nelson with a broad. She sits on his lap and shit.
Look at
And
Puerto
he's like,
Rican
"Yeah, this is
Nelson
my
with the
girl."
broad.
He's feeling her up. He's making out in front of her. And feeling it.
What? In front of our kids?
And me and my buddy are frozen. Like,
Yeah.
I can't remember who the fuck it was.
That's not good.
So
Wow.
boom,
How
we
old
did-
was this guy?
That's
this
not
guy had to
good.
be 28 and the bro was like 21. But he was one of those, he had to be 26 maybe. He was from somewhere else and he lived there.
No,
This
no,
is before
no
the
age.
computer, before neighborhood watch.
No age. Could you say to make any of this right? No age.
watching before.
And no one was freaked out by a pack of 12-year-olds hanging out with them.
No, because in those days, a lot of parents came out and played with kids. And you
I
play
know, that's
two-hand
different
touch.
now.
See, it's
I
different
would never
now.
be able to
Yeah, but that's parents. Parents.
play with.
Hey, who's that old guy playing with you? Oh, don't worry about it. That's my dad. Hey, who's that old guy playing with you? It's Puerto Rican Nelson. It's Puerto Rican Nelson. Hey, man, get the fuck away from these kids.
With a random kid in my
No,
neighborhood.
so everybody knew him for the neighborhood. And in those days, we wanted to go into the murky waters.
Yeah.
And he was kind of opening the door. Not really, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
It took a long time. It's not like he lurked us into his house and said, do you guys want to have sex? This is after we knew him for a year.
Right.
We go back there all the time to get water after a basketball game. We knew him, you know. But now he knew we were growing up and he knew what our needs were. I look at it now like he was just trying to, but we couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
So one day we're sitting back there, we had a basketball game, and he's like, hey, man, what'd you think of that fucking broad the other day? Me and my buddy like, oh, she was banging. He goes, I'll tell you what. He goes, tell these guys how hot she was. And me and my buddy's like, yeah, she was hot. He's like, oh, when can we see it? He goes, listen, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. He goes, listen.
Oh, no. I have not seen this before. I've seen a lot of fucking Joey Diaz clips, and I heard a lot of Joey Diaz telling stories. I've never heard Puerto Rican Nelson. In fact, this is utterly insanity, mate.
Listen, I'm going to fuck her tonight in the living room, and I'll leave the window open. You guys can come by and listen.
Oh my god, dude, that's so funny. Oh, that's fucking hilarious, dude.
That was his thing.
For like $1 a piece.
That was his fetish.
Oh my
He
God,
got
he-
into boys listening to him fuck.
Oh man.
We got there, he was fucking the shit out of her, doggy style. We all ran away. We were like mortified. We got there 10 minutes before he started fucking it. We're like, they're not even in there. And all of a sudden you heard her go, oh. And he's like, yeah, that's it, suck it. We tried to look. There must have been 8 of us trying to look at that window. We just heard them fucking. And I heard meat. Like, that's the first time I heard balls hit.
Yeah.
And we ran out of there, dog. And the next day, he's like, the next day, he's like, did you guys come by? Oh, my God.
That's the weirdest fucking neighborhood guy I've ever heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Holy shit.
We did not
Wow,
have
that's
one of those
great.
in our neighborhood.
The Ali brothers.
Think about how many like firsts you had with that guy. First
Oh,
drinking,
pause.
fucking.
I never
Seeing,
drank with him, I don't think. He
No?
didn't. No. He got us weed, and he was like, dog, if I do this for you, you got to keep it on the level. I can't have the, he was very
Yeah.
careful. But the Ali brothers were the first people that told me, like, this all
Perverts.
was
Yep.
happening at once. So I was living on Given That Terrace, but I would play on 26th Street. And the Ali brothers were hysterical. The Ali brothers were the first people I ever met in my life that went to a hookah house. And they would both describe the experience to me. And it was like a fucking perfect film. You couldn't write this now in my memory. Because Juan Ali was very intelligent. And he would say, yeah, you give them $10. And you go in the back room and they fucking take your shoes off. And they take a bucket out and they wash your dick. And they get on the bed and they ask you, what do you want to do? If you want a 69, and we do everything. And we do everything. We're there for like an hour. We eat them. They give us a massage. The whole when you're fucking 12 and a 13-year-old's telling you this shit, your mind, it's like Pink Floyd the first time.
Yeah.
You go home and think about that shit and think about the possibilities.
Yeah.
Like,
A
maybe I'll go over there,
13-year-old
put on
was
my
telling
best
you
suit.
this?
I'll get $10 and see what the Bronx has to offer. Are you fucking kidding me? But every Monday, there'd be a circle around these two. And they'd be telling us all their sexual escapades, The
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
Ali brothers until I hit right next to where they lived was a company called Duratest, and they made light bulbs,
I don't like this.
all sizes. They made these things, but the best thing for us as kids was when they made the Office, the skinny long ones.
Yeah.
Oh, all that I could hit you in the head 25 times, nothing will happen. They just break and you get white powder on you. Okay, so we would jump over the dumpster, get like 150 of those things, and everybody would take an armful, and we'd go to war with each other.
No shit.
Bah, bah, bah. We'd hit each other.
No cuts.
Never a misunderstanding. And it was me, Juan Ali, Martin Perez, all these white Dean
Never a
Laprie, all these white
misunderstanding.
dudes from 26th Street. We're all out there, but there was a roof, a flat roof over a garage, next to Juan Ali's house, and there was access to the roof. So we're having this war, 5-on-5. Everybody's hitting each other with these fucking things. I run to the roof. I'm having my own private war up in the roof. And somebody throws a rock over. They throw a bulb over, right? Then another bulb comes over. Bah! And then a rock comes over. Well, I take the fucking rock, and I look at the guy, and I go, don't say that. And I throw the rock up in the air, right? And I just leave it like that, and all of a sudden you hear, and we look over, not the smart Ali, but the retarded one, Alberto, the one that used to always say, "Sí, yo sé lo que pasó."
Yeah.
Like he was the one that, he was like Louis. He's like that character Louis that wasn't intelligent, but he was going, yeah, I was there. He was there.
Yeah. I was
So I hit him in the head with that fucking
No
rock.
shit.
I clocked him right here. It didn't break, but he got a lump immediately, like a hematoma.
Yeah.
But it was a hematoma that pus went right to it, and he had a little pee hole in it. You could see, and he was on the floor. He's on the floor. Like my friends didn't give a fuck. He got in there with the rock. They get in there with light bulbs. What the fuck are you giggling about? No.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Joey Diaz, you're fucking insane, dude. That was fucking great. That was fucking great. We had a lot of neighborhood weirdos where I grew up too. Nothing like that. Or probably I just didn't know him. We had this one weird guy that used to sit out on his front porch with a big glass of milk when it was hot as fuck and just yell at everybody that passed by. We think he might have been a little downsy, but that's okay. But he was terrorizing that street for sure. Anyway, if you like that fucking video, that was terrible. If you like the video, like the video. See you next time.